Thank you. At this time, let's introduce today's starting lineups first for the visiting Knights. First up, number 4, Marian Selma. Number 7, Aaron Kelly. Number 9, Sienna Mullen. Number 10, Sammy King. Number 14, Katie Koger. Number 17, Savannah Spangler. Number 20, Riley McKenna. Number 24, Olivia Parker. Number 27, Kylie Jones. Number 36, Taylor Wirt. And in goal for the Knights, wearing number 0, Lily Ames. The Knights are coached by Justin Sullivan. And now the starting lineup for your Fighting Saints. First up, number 2, Michelle Palayo. Number 5, Jasmine Valles. Number 7, Kelly Flores. Number 9, Litzy Flores. Number 12, Charlene Mendoza. Number 14, Mia O'Connor. Number 15, Citlali Perez. Number 16, Kara Planeta. Number 23, Andrea Aguirre. Number 24, Isabel Diaz. And in goal for the Fighting Saints, wearing number 77, Giselle Mata. Your Fighting Saints are coached by Al Pilar.
Good afternoon from Joliet, Illinois and Joliet Memorial Stadium. Terry Bonadonna with you for University of St. Francis Fighting Saints Soccer. We got a doubleheader on tap today. The women's team goes first and they take on the Knights of Marian University. And the men's team will follow at about 3:30 this afternoon against Cornerstone. So a good day of soccer coming your way from Joliet. And we start with a headliner. St. Francis and Marian, 2 undefeated teams going at it in a non-conference matchup. The Saints come in with a record of 3-0-1 this year. The Knights have played 7 games without suffering a defeat. They're 7-0 and one of the top teams in the country this year. So St. Francis will have their hands full today, no doubt about it, against a team that scores a lot of goals. The Fighting Saints have not given one up yet this year. So I'd say something's got to give with 2 undefeated teams, but I guess it doesn't technically have to. It could finish in a tie. We'll see. My guess is it is going to be very difficult for the Saints to come away with a 5th consecutive shutout to open up this season. But we'll see. We're underway. The first kick of the game is taken by Marian, back on the defensive end, going from right to left. Marian is shooting into the north goal. St. Francis is in white today, going from left to right in the first half and shooting into the south goal. Just about 25 seconds into the action, Marian gets it across midfield for the first time today. Olivia Parmer up in the box, stopped by a sliding Giselle Mata. Mata, the goalkeeper for St. Francis, a junior transfer from College of Lake County, has been superb this year, has not allowed a goal through the first 4 games. As we take a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams, the ball rolls back towards Mata again. The team that she's tasked with slowing down today is Marian Selma, Aaron Kelly, Sienna Mullen, Sammy King, Katie Koger, Savannah Spangler, Riley McKenna, Olivia Parmer, Kylie Jones, and Taylor Wirt. Those are the 10 starters in front of goalkeeper Lily Ames, the junior from Romeo, Michigan, for Marian. The Knights take a chance in front of the net, hit high into the air and out of bounds. That shot came off the foot of Taylor Wirt, and it was not deflected by the Fighting Saints. So a goal kick coming up for St. Francis. Here are the Saints starters today. Michelle Pelayo, Jasmine Valles, Kelly Flores, Litzy Flores, Charlene Mendoza, Mia Okana, Citlali Perez, Cara Planeta, Andrea Aguirre, and Isabel Diaz, their leading goal scorer this year. Line up in front of Giselle Mata. Mata, who we've already met in today's game, is the goalkeeper for the Fighting Saints. She has been the goalkeeper for all 360 minutes of action coming into play today. She has started every game and has not been removed. A chance here cutting towards the net for Marian, but that pass was a little bit too far out in front of Olivia Palmer, leading goal scorer on the season for Marian. And so Mata was able to scoop it up. Looked like a good opportunity for Palmer, who stayed on sides. But the ball was just pushed a little bit too far out in front. It was actually Katie Koger, I think, who was trying to track that ball down. Regardless, the pass was a little bit too far out in front of her, and the Knights weren't able to get a shot out of it. Here's Koger, has the ball knocked away from her by Andrea Aguirre. Saints haven't been able to put together an offensive attack yet in the first couple of minutes. It's been all Marian in possession. Stats for the goalkeepers this year are pretty impressive. Giselle Mata of St. Francis has not allowed a goal. She has, as I mentioned, played every minute of the season for the Fighting Saints. And she's taken 18 shots. She saved them all. She punched the ball away here. Nobody in the country has seen more shot attempts without allowing a goal this season. She's one of a handful of goalkeepers who has had a shutout each time out, but nobody has more than 18 saves that she's got. Knocked out of bounds in the corner. It's a throw in for Marian. Savannah Spangler trying to set something up. Knocked off of her foot, kept in bounds for the moment. And it stays in as she looks for the cross. Deflected, but kept alive by Marian. Taylor Wirt passes off to Sammy King. They work their way around from left to right to the far sideline. Pulled back by Riley McKenna. Marian stays on the offensive. And finally taken away by Mia Okana. Okana runs into Marian Coro Selma. Keeps her dribble alive. And the Saints are indeed able to clear it. Looking to get it across midfield. It's Cara Planeta rolling it down the sideline on the near side of the field. Planeta back towards midfield, working from the defensive end. Dribbled ahead for Mia Okana. Okana shakes loose, looks for Kelly Flores down in the corner, and it's wide and out of bounds on the pass. 4.5 minutes into the game, no score just yet. Lily Ames is the goalkeeper for Marian. Like Giselle Mata, she's played every game for the Knights. Unlike Giselle Mata, she has not played every minute for the Knights, but close to it. She's allowed 5 goals in her 7 games this year, an average of 0.77 per contest. She's made 10 saves. It's a .667 save percentage. And she has 2 shutouts this year. Really 3. She has official credit for 2 of them, but a combined shutout as well. The Knights did not allow a goal in their first 3 games of the season, just like the Saints. They have allowed at least 1 in 4 consecutive games now. But all of those have been victories for them because they've been pouring it on. They average to score 3 goals per game. Giselle Mata picks it up again. She's been heavily involved in the action early in today's game. Hasn't had any real shots go her way, but she's been involved a lot. She's picked the ball up a handful of times, and she punts it here, just shy of the midfield circle. It bounces back towards midfield. 2 teams go back and forth. Erin Kelly wins possession for Marian and pushes it ahead for Savannah Spangler. Booted out of bounds by the Fighting Saints. A throw-in coming here for the Saints as it was deflected by Koger. St. Francis holding their own defensively early on in this game. They've slowed down an impressive Marian attack. The foul is called on the Fighting Saints here. Granted, We're only 6 minutes into the game, but so far so good. The offense of St. Francis figures to be the tough part today. Spangler is able to win that ball from Planeta. She's in the box. Back to the net. Pass back to Koger. One dribble to get around the defender. Tries to take the shot. Can't get around the defender this time. Koger gets it back over to Spangler on the left side. Spangler rolls it through the legs of Planeta, but couldn't get it past Aguirre, who's able to clear it for the Fighting Saints. Marian tries to go right back on offense. St. Francis takes it away, and a foul is called against the Knights. Good defensive stand for St. Francis. Marian scores on everybody. It's going to be very difficult for the Saints to come up with a 5th consecutive shutout today. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's going to be very difficult. But the Saints came into today's game knowing, as they do every game, that they're going to have to score if they want to win. Koger taps it out to herself on the right. Gets it right back and can't get around the defense. Stood up by Ashel Pelayo. Good defensive play by Pelayo. Coro Selma is knocked off the ball, and she's fouled. Foul against the Fighting Saints sets up a free kick from just over 35 yards out, slightly to the right of the net. Ball's in position. It's going to be Kylie Jones, 6-foot-tall senior, who lines up behind the ball. Jones makes her approach, sends it right in front of the net where it's headed towards the back line and out of bounds. Taylor Wirt got her head on it. Couldn't straighten it out, but it was deflected by St. Francis, so we'll see a corner kick here from Marian. They get a lot of them. They've had a lot of success off of corner kicks this season. It's played short to Sammy King. King is muscled off the ball as it's pushed towards the sideline and out of bounds. More good defense from the Fighting Saints as they're able to clear it and get possession on the throw-in. St. Francis won their last game. That was at Aurora University on Wednesday. 3-0 was the final score. Impressive showing from them. They scored those 3 goals early. They blitzed Aurora in the first half, and then just cruised after that point. Held on to that 3-0 lead. Aurora only got 2 shots off all game. 2 shots on goal anyway. Marian on the defensive end. It's Riley McKenna kicking it forward down the sideline. Katie Koger tracks it down. Koger works against Pelayo to the end line. Sliding in with the stop is Jasmine Valles as she knocks it out of bounds. So at least for the first 10 minutes of today's game, as expected, Marian has been on the attack a lot. And as expected, St. Francis's defense has looked good. So nothing out of the ordinary so far today. Palmer's pass is deflected. Knocked towards the sideline by Aguirre. Kept in bounds. It's Litzy Flores. Pass back and cleared by the Fighting Saints. Marian again tries to reverse course. Out of bounds for a Knights throw-in. Marian is still looking for their first really solid scoring chance. They haven't had any good looks at the goal so far, and they don't again right here. Still trying to get it back, but it is in possession of the St. Francis defense. Pushed ahead and cleared down the sideline. Stays in bounds and finally rolls out to the Marian defense. They're able to take control of possession again. Spangler right in the center of the field. Passes back to King. Here's Aaron Kelly. And Kelly sends it off to nobody in particular. It's out for a goal kick. No score. Good start to this one. Marian ranked number 6 in the country. Impressive so far in terms of possession time. They're dominating it at the moment. Koger works her way into the box. Koger is challenged from behind by Plyo. Takes the shot and a great save made by Mata. The shutout remains intact. Koger got by 2 defenders, but could not get past the goalkeeper. Excellent save from Giselle Mata, who hasn't been asked to do too much this season. She does have 4 consecutive shutouts, but she's only making about 4.5 saves per game. So it's been the defense more than anything that has allowed her to be so successful. But when she has had to step up, she's done it. And we just saw that right there. Foul called on Marian. Free kick coming up for the Fighting Saints. Nice takeaway by Savannah Spangler, but she loses it, gets it right back. Back to the defense, it's Kylie Jones. Marian still in possession. St. Francis has not been able to get a shot off yet today. Very little of the game has been played on the defensive side of the field for Marian. They've been on the offensive for pretty much the entire time. The Saints are trying to flip the script here towards the near sideline. It is hauled in by Okana. Okana tries to take a shot, but it's immediately deflected. Doesn't get anywhere on it. Back towards the sideline and out of bounds. So that was the best attack we've seen all day from St. Francis. It didn't really go very far. It was the best we've seen against a very tough Marian defense. They're trying to keep the pressure on St. Francis. That ball is deflected into the box. An easy pickup for Giselle Mata. Not easy to do what the Saints are doing right now, which is watch their opponent have possession pretty much the entire way and not still feel very threatened. The high punt from Mata, headed towards the midfield circle. Ball is won by Isabel Diaz. That's a player that the Fighting Saints would like to get rolling offensively. Diaz scored 2 more goals in her last game against Aurora. She's been their best goal scorer this season. 5 of them. She's taken 27 shots, which is more than twice as much as the next closest player. Those 5 goals represent over 70% of the team's total this year. A trip and no foul call, just a good tackle. Well played by Okana, trying to get it ahead to Charlene Mendoza, but it's taken away by Kylie Jones, and Marian is back in possession. Sammy King rolls it forward, and a foul is called as Koger was grabbed on the play by Andrea Aguirre. Wouldn't let her go. Free kick for the Knights. Similar spot to where they had their previous free kick, which led to a scoring chance. Jones steps up from defense to take the kick. Chipped into the box and a little bit too far out in front of the intended target. She was trying to get Taylor Wirt. Wirt would have been going for her first goal of the season if she had been able to get a shot off there, but it was just a wee bit out in front of her. And so the game remains scoreless. 16 minutes into play, just about 29 minutes still to go in this first half. So far it's been all Marian, but with nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Knocked out of bounds by the Fighting Saints. Marian continues to push forward. Down to the corner. Koger has it knocked away and out of bounds by Jasmine Valles. Corner kick coming up for the Knights. It's their second corner kick of the game. First from the far side of the field. And it'll be taken by Kylie Jones. Jones plays it short to Sammy King and gets it right back. Jones towards the back post and headed out of bounds by Olivia Parmer. Just a rough hit from Parmer. She was in good position there waiting on the back post. It was a good ball to her. She just turned her head and missed the post wide. So the Saints catch a break on a good scoring opportunity for Marian. The game remains 0-0. Just under 28 minutes to play in the first half. Game 1 of a doubleheader today, a soccer doubleheader at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Don't see a ton of these in non-conference season, but we've got one today. Both the St. Francis women and men are in action, facing two different schools today, which you would not see in conference play. Far side of the field, Riley McKenna passes it back. Marian taking their time on defense. Here comes Koger. Katie Koger, second leading goal scorer on the team, dribbles into the box, takes the shot. It ricochets off the crossbar, and they're going to call it a goal. They said it went in. It was off the crossbar and off the side post, and it just rattled around enough to cross over the line and go through for a Katie Koger goal. Marian strikes first, and they do it with just under 27 minutes remaining in the first half. Fifth goal of the season for Koger. And the first goal allowed all year by St. Francis, and it figures for as good as the Saints have been at keeping the ball out of the net all season. That one didn't get into the net either. Finally, a goal scores against them, but it hit off the crossbar and off the post and just barely was able to cross the line. So it's 1-0 Marian. A 19th minute goal scored by Koger. Her fifth goal of the season. She's got 11 points on the year. Out of bounds on the near sideline. And now St. Francis will likely have to pick up their offense a little bit. Still a very long way to go in this game. But for the first 20 minutes at least, it has been entirely defensive for the Fighting Saints. So it's not as though they don't have time to overcome a one-goal deficit, but they are going to have to turn around the way this game is being played a little bit. Diaz to the near sideline is able to hook up with Mia Okana. Okana turns it upfield. And finally, the Fighting Saints are in possession for a little bit of an extended period. Flores back to Diaz, and Diaz is tripped up. Foul is called on Savannah Spangler, freshman midfielder for Marian. And the Fighting Saints get a free kick from 40 yards out towards the sideline on the near side. Kick is taken by Kelly Flores to the backside of the field. It rolls by everybody and all the way to the sideline down in the far corner. It's out of bounds for a throw-in for Marian. The sun is out this afternoon. It rained earlier today. This is a turf field. It drains well, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Maybe it's a little bit slicker than usual. But because the sun is out now, I think most of that wetness would have dried up by now. Fighting for positioning. Litzy Flores tries to keep it alive for the Saints. Passed back to the defense. Pelayo sends it downfield ricocheted back to the midfield circle. There's a ball down the far sideline, intercepted by Marian. Cleared for the moment. Kelly Flores steps up, takes a long-range shot, and misses it high and wide to the right. So if nothing else, it's good to see the Saints getting aggressive with the shots. They haven't had too many chances early on today. So they are getting aggressive enough now to take them from long distance, at least in that one particular possession from Kelly Flores. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard yet for the Saints. They trail 1-0. 2 shots total for St. Francis today. They have not challenged Lily Ames yet. A lot of teams don't. Ames has only seen 15 shots on goal all year in 7 games, so they're averaging to allow just a little bit over 2 shots on goal per contest. Ames hasn't been particularly efficient when the shots have come her way. Deep ball over to Parmer. Parmer is going one-on-one right now and gets around the defender. Passed off to her right. Spangler spins into the box, but it's knocked loose by St. Francis. Good defense by the Saints. Marian will try it again. King rolls it ahead. In front of the box, it's taken away by the Fighting Saints. Sammy King rolls it right into the middle of the field. This is Wirt. Off to her right. Sienna Mullen into the box, knocked loose by the Saints, and right back to Marian again. So repeatedly, St. Francis is clearing it, and Marian gets the ball right back at the midfield. 22 minutes to play in the first half. Into the box, and Mata is there to pick it up. Giselle Mata has 1 save today. It was a pretty one. She's allowed 1 goal today. First time all year that's been the case. After saving the first 19 shots on goal. Katie Koger can't get away from the defense. Flores takes it away. Jasmine Valles hits it deep down the sideline where it's deflected out. Throw in coming up. We've also got a substitution coming up. Jimena Diaz is on for the Fighting Saints. And for Marian, looks like Caitlin Lavezzi, freshman who's originally from right around here, comes in for the first time. Marian plays it on defense. Kylie Jones hits it across midfield. Gives Caitlin Lavezzi her first touch of the game. Lavezzi can't keep it alive as it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the St. Francis defense. More substitutions. Liz Fisher, freshman midfielder, comes on for Marian. Citlali Perez pushes it forward for the Fighting Saints. Diaz's ball is knocked by Kylie Jones towards the sideline, and Jones knocks it out. Saints will step up to get the throw in. It's Cara Planeta who does the honors. Immediately intercepted by the Knights. And back to their goalkeeper, Lily Ames. 1-0, Marian has the lead on the Katie Koger goal in the 19th minute. A ball that rattled around and somehow went in just over the line. A tackle and a foul is called in the box on Lily Ames. Diaz was going after it, and Ames came out of the net. Looked like she was trying to play the ball, but missed the ball entirely. Got Diaz instead. And so she puts herself into a tough spot as we're going to get a penalty kick. 19:23 on the stopped clock. And St. Francis has a chance to tie the score. Kick will be taken by Kelly Flores, who's trying to score her first goal of the season. Here comes the shot from Flores. It's in. And we've got a tie game 1-1. So Lily Ames is called for the penalty in the first place, tackling Diaz in the box. And then she lets the ball go in, the 6th goal that she's allowed this year. And St. Francis is back into a tie position. That's a frustrating one for Marian, considering how much they've controlled this first half. At least the pace of play, they've dominated. And despite that, St. Francis has been able to come back and tie them up. Marian will try to strike again here. It's King. Passing to her left, finds Allie Treadway. Or Liz Fisher, rather. Good tackle by Jimena Diaz for the Fighting Saints. And the ball ends up going out of bounds on Marian. Here's Diaz. Isabel Diaz, I think, dribbled out of bounds. Tough call because it was made by the referee rather than the line judge. But Marian does get the throw, and they'll do it from right around midfield. Liz Fisher immediately intercepted, knocked out of bounds by the St. Francis goal scorer, Kelly Flores. Tossed right back in by Fisher along the sideline. Knocked out this time by the Fighting Saints again. Aguirre was the last one to touch it, or was she? No, call's been reversed. It's going to be a throw for St. Francis instead. Just under 18 minutes to play. We're tied 1-1. Penalty kick from Kelly Flores. Evened the score after the initial goal was scored by Katie Koger. It was the first goal of the year by Flores. She's got a pair of assists as well, so 4 points on the season for her. There's a cross, and it's knocked out of bounds by Mata. Looked like a cross, but hugged that back line, ended up going a little bit too close to the net, and an easy stop for the goalkeeper. Corner kick here, though. Third corner of the game for Marian. Belongs to Kylie Jones. Another Kylie Conrad. Different spelling. Kylie Conrad is into the game now for Marian, number 40. Sammy King taps it towards the back line. Pelayo tries to clear it, but it's deflected. Conrad nearly got there, but it is pushed out of the box. Here's Kylie Jones on the ball, headed towards that corner and out for another corner kick. Planeta gave it a run. She wanted to see that ball go out the sideline instead of the back line, but wasn't able to get there in time, so it does go out for another corner kick. Jones sets it up again, right in front of the net, headed towards Mata, and Mata makes the stop. Her second save of the game. Giselle Mata keeps this game tied, 1-1. 16 minutes now to play in the first half. We've still got just over an hour of soccer remaining. Anybody's game right now, tied up at 1. Marian's been the better team for sure, but the St. Francis defense has been very good. And their offense made one big play that led to their first goal, taking advantage of a penalty against Lily Ames, the goalkeeper. Marian makes their way up to midfield. It's King passing off to her left. Aaron Kelly's ball finds Conrad. Back to King again. Conrad rolls towards the near sideline, and it is kept in bounds by Liz Fisher. Good work by Fisher to keep the play going for Marian, and they've still got possession. Haven't really gone anywhere with this possession, but they've had the ball for a long time. Diaz is finally able to knock it loose. Good tackle from Diaz. Now good ball work as well. Her pass, however, is intercepted by Jones. Fisher on the sideline. Pass back to Jones, and Jones crosses the field with it. McKenna pushes it down the far side. That's over the line, out of bounds. Throw-in will belong to the Fighting Saints. Planetta tosses it in to Isabel Diaz, who immediately is surrounded by 3 defenders in blue shirts. One of those 3 knocked it out of bounds. Saints work their way up the field, throw by throw. Flores has it taken away. Saints try to get it back, but it's stolen by Marian. Big run down the far side of the field, but nowhere eventually for Lavezzi to go. Throw coming up for the Knights. Both teams are playing a handful of subs right now, trying to make sure the starters stay fresh for the second half. But Marian is not only a good team at the top, they are a balanced team as well. So their head coach, Justin Sullivan, wants to make sure that he doesn't lose anything by going to his bench here late in the first half. Coro Selma taps it back to McKenna. McKenna hits a laser beam downfield, deflected to the sideline. There's somebody to play it there. But somebody plays it for St. Francis as well, knocking the ball loose. Hit high towards the sideline, out of bounds. Throw in for the Knights. Fisher steps up, lobs it off the foot of a Fighting Saints defender. And that same defender clears it. Jocelyn Garcia Favela across midfield. Planetta tries to get it through, finds Litzy Flores. Flores looking for the cross, deflected into the air and cleared by Marian. Contact and a foul called as Caitlin Lavezzi hits the ground and rolls a bit. Free kick coming up here from 45 yards out for the Marian Knights, trying to break a 1-1 tie. Dribbling from Conrad. Conrad gets around 2 defenders, can't beat the third. Knocked to the far side of the field. There's a cross and a score. A beautiful goal from Sienna Mullen. I thought she was passing it initially, but she snuck it right in behind Giselle Mata into the back corner of the net. A beautiful shot from Mullen. And Marian is back on top. Sienna Mullen scores her 3rd goal of the season. A lot of offense. Over the last 20 minutes, we've seen 3 goals scored. It had been scoreless before that. It did figure to be a defensive battle today more than anything. But this Marian offense is difficult to keep off the board. 2 goals in the last 16 minutes for them. That one again was Sienna Mullen. Her 3rd goal on her 4th shot taken this year. That's a pretty good percentage. That's not on 4 shots on goal. That's 4 shots total. So she doesn't take them often, but when she does, they're usually pretty good. Both of Marian's goals today have come from excellent shots. Headed back and forth. Saints try to push the ball into their attacking side of the field. And finally, that's what they're able to do. Down towards the corner. Sent along the sideline out of bounds, just in front of that corner. St. Francis will get a throw in. Under 10 minutes on the clock, first half. Game 1 of a doubleheader. We'll have 180 total minutes of soccer today at Joliet Memorial Stadium. It's going to be a goal kick. No, it's not. Sorry, it's going to be a corner kick. Isabel Diaz hugged that back line long enough until somebody came in to poke it away. First corner kick of the game for St. Francis ever since that 2nd goal was scored. They've turned up the heat a little bit. Corner kick is rolled towards the top of the box. A shot doesn't make it to the net. Easily cleared by the Knights. Right up the middle. It's deflected. Back towards the sideline, out of bounds. Throw in coming up for Marian. Getting late in the first half. The Knights have not trailed. They've led now twice. Across the field on that pass from Diaz. Marian takes it away on the defensive end. Here comes Wirt. Long run, caught up by Kelly Flores, and so she rolls it to her left. Fisher out of bounds. Awkward first touch from Liz Fisher. Saints get a goal kick. They also make a substitution. Nikki Guzman comes in, replacing Citlali Perez. One against two, and the 2 win out for St. Francis, taking the ball away from Kylie Conrad. Saints midfield sends it back to the defensive side. O'Connor tries to start something going forward. Her pass towards Isabel Diaz is deflected and taken away. Wirt taps it back to Coro Selma. Gets it back and sends it over to the midfield. Nowhere really to go right now. And ultimately the ball's bounced into the box where it rolls to a stop just past the end line. Dueling number 2's there. Ishel Palayo was working against Caitlin Lavezzi. It looked like Lavezzi was trying to box her out. So Pelayo was a little bit shielded from the ball, but she ultimately was able to make the play. Goal kick for the Saints. Another opportunity here for Lavezzi. Lavezzi takes the shot and a diving save made by Giselle Mata. Tough angle to shoot from. Tried to get it around Mata. Mata was able to make a diving play. Punted to the edge of the circle. Cleared again by St. Francis. Back to the defense of Marian, trying to extend a 1-goal lead in the closing minutes of the first half. Just about 5.5 to play. Scooped up again by Mata. Marian backpedaling defensively. Jimena Diaz is able to take possession for the Fighting Saints. Pushed off to her left. She was trying to connect with Nikki Guzman, but Guzman couldn't haul it in. It's out of bounds. Promising start to that attack for St. Francis. Ends up fading quickly. Marian's got it back in their own defensive box. Good run here for Conrad. Kylie Conrad is intercepted on her way to the ball. Good run from Jocelyn Garcia Favela. She was able to get there first and make sure that Conrad didn't have the opportunity to get a shot off. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Throw in on the far side of the field. Belongs to Marian. They play it back behind midfield. Rolled down the sideline to nobody. Planeta steps up. And Planeta also sends it to nobody, kicking it straight out of bounds. Marian gets the throw. Good clearance by Pelayo. Good interception to take it right back. It's been a theme today. Marian has taken the ball back on defense more often than not. Dribbling around the outside, the shot is saved by Mata. Lauren Maresh didn't get very much on that attempt. Headed back and forth near midfield. Possession won by the Fighting Saints. To the far side, it's Planeta. Planeta was trying to get that ball through to Nikki Guzman. No success on it. Here come the Knights once again. Ahead to Kylie Conrad. Conrad takes a dribble to her left, trying to free herself up to take a shot. Not able to do it. Good defense from the Saints. Now finally she does take the shot. It's immediately deflected right back to her. Her second attempt goes through the football goal posts. It's out of bounds. Two opportunities there for Kylie Conrad. First one was halted by the defense. The second one was right there for her. She missed it well high. Saints work their way back from the defense. Trailing by 1 goal. Looking for the equalizer just before halftime here. Diaz tries to fight her way around Liz Fisher. Fisher hounding her the whole way. Finally, she gives it up to Mia Okana. Okana tried to get it right back to Jimena Diaz, but rolled it out of bounds. That was really well defended by Liz Fisher. Nobody had a free space.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Coming up on halftime. One last chance maybe here for the Fighting Saints. Okana tries to get it through. Nobody there on the receiving end. It's out of bounds. It's a goal kick for the University of St. Ambrose. Excuse me, Marian University. I was looking at the wrong line on the schedule sheet. St. Ambrose was one of the teams that Marian beat this year, 1-0, back in late August. Down to the final 15 seconds of the first half. Can Marian strike one more time before the break? Liz Fisher goes on a big run. She's stopped. The ball goes out of bounds. No time for a corner kick here. Good defense from Jocelyn Garcia Favela, who makes the late stop to wrap up the first half. A good first half for Marian. They've taken a 2-1 lead over St. Francis. First 2 goals allowed by the Fighting Saints all year. Saints got 1 goal back on a penalty kick, but they'll need to do a little bit more on offense in the second half if they want to have any chance in pulling off the upset against the 6th-ranked team in the country. 15 minutes or so for halftime coming up, and then we'll have the second half for you right after that. I'll step aside for now. 2-1. Marian has the lead at the break. The second half is underway from Joliet. 2-1. Marian has the lead over St. Francis. Marian, one of the top-ranked teams in the country, getting a challenge so far against the home team, but they have had the lead pretty much throughout. They have not trailed in today's game. Marian's got it on the defensive end right now. St. Francis is able to take it away. The Fighting Saints will try to put a little bit more offensive pressure on this Marian defense in the second half. There wasn't a ton of it in the first half. Their only goal scored was on a penalty kick. Overall, 12 shots for the Knights in the first half, only 4 for the Fighting Saints. That's a departure from normal for the University of St. Francis. They have outshot their opponents by an average of 12 per game this year. But coming into play today, Marian had taken 128 shots and only allowed 27 all season. So the Saints are actually ahead of schedule against this Knights team. They only give up about 4 shots per game. Saints don't have a shot on goal in the flow of play. The only one was the shot that went in, and that, of course, was on a penalty kick. So we'll see if they can reverse that here in the second half. Our goals were scored by Katie Koger in the 19th minute for Marian. It made it 1-0. Then in the 26th minute, it was Kelly Flores for St. Francis off the penalty kick. And in the 35th minute, Sienna Mullen scored for Marian. And I read the stat at the time, but I think bears repeating. It's an incredible number. Mullen has now scored 3 goals this season. She's only got 3 shots on goal and 4 shots total. So she doesn't take them often, but when she does, she's got a mean leg. So the Saints would do well to keep it off of that leg and a shooting position here in the second half. The two teams have flipped sides. The Saints in white are now going from right to left. Marian's going from left to right. Throw in for Sienna Mullen. Finds Treadway. Allie Treadway just came in at halftime. First time that she's been on the field today. Over on the far end of the field. Set up by Savannah Spangler into the box, and it is deflected out of bounds. We're going to get a goal kick. 2-1 our score. Marian on top. The Knights haven't lost a game this year, nor have they tied. They've won every time out there. They've not all been blowouts. Some of them have. But they are 3-0 in 1-goal games. So they know how to win the tight ones like this as well. St. Francis has not lost this year. They have tied once. That was against Mount Mercy last Wednesday. A 0-0 draw last time they played at home prior to today. Down into the corner. Tracked down initially by Erin Kelly, but Kelly couldn't keep it in bounds. And she ends up losing it out the back line for a corner kick. So an early chance for the Fighting Saints here in the second half. Marian had a lot more chances from the corner early on. 4 corner kicks to 1 in the first half. First one in the second half belongs to the Saints and Kelly Flores, who scored the Saints' goal in the first half, is going to be the one to take the corner kick here as well. Flores sends it in back behind the box. Diaz in front of the net, deflected. Still alive on the field of play, but cleared by Marian. Good defense from the Knights. Sitlali Perez is trying to keep the attack alive for St. Francis. Marian is again able to get it away towards the sideline, kept in bounds. Another chance for Kelly Flores. Flores takes the shot, and it's saved by Lily Ames, a relatively easy shot from long range. Just over 4 minutes into the second half. Still 2-1 Marian. Their 1-goal halftime lead is maintained, but in the first 4+ minutes, the Saints have already been a little bit more active in the attacking third of the field than they were the entire first half. We'll see if that continues, or if indeed it creates more counterattack opportunities for Marian. Not this time. Isabel Diaz turns it upfield, down the far sideline and out of bounds. Diaz was trying to hook up with Mia Okana unsuccessfully. The whistle blows. It's going to go against St. Francis. Seven fouls against St. Francis today. 6 against Marian's. They've been pretty even in that way. Kelly Flores has a little conversation with the referee. The clock stopped. 39:55 to go, second half. No card given. Free kick goes right along the sideline. Not an excellent kick there. It leads to a quick St. Francis throw-in. Jocelyn Garcia Favela lobs it back onto the field. Here's Parmer, who's been pretty quiet today. Somebody who's had multiple multi-goal games. In fact, there are 2 players coming into play today in this game that had put together multi-2-goal games. Parmer for Marian, Isabel Diaz for St. Francis, and neither one of them has been all that active in today's contest. Going the Knights' way right here. Foul right at midfield committed by the Saints. Sammy King, Division I transfer from Bowling Green University, bounces it into the box, looking for Olivia Parmer. Knocked loose by St. Francis, kept alive, though, by the Knights. Here's Koger. Koger gets by one defender into the corner. There's her cross, headed out of bounds. We've got a corner kick coming up. Fifth one of these today for Marian. They lead the game by 1 goal. Considering how good their defense has been, if they are able to get one more, it would be very difficult for St. Francis to make a comeback. So every ball is huge on this side of the field. That corner kick is a little bit too straight. Ends up going right down the line over the net and out of bounds. Never really went back into play. It was not playable by any Knights attackers, and an easy goal kick here for the Fighting Saints. Jones rolls it towards the midfield circle. Off the foot of Katie Koger. To her left, down the sideline. Marian making a run here. Good move by Spangler. Spangler tries to get it to Treadway. Knocked away from Treadway. Good defense from Michelle Palayo. Marian gets it back. Spangler again. Into the box and cleared. Palayo. Another good defensive play for the Saints. That's 2 in a row. Another opportunity here, though, for Spangler and Marian. Spangler just keeps putting herself back in that same position. There's her cross, deflected. Ball loose in front of the net. There's a shot and a nice save by Mata as she pokes it over the net. I think there was Treadway who took the shot. And Mata was able to reach up over her head and just punch it over the crossbar. Corner kick coming up for Marian, but another good save by Mata, who has allowed her first 2 goals of the season today, but has still had a pretty good game. She's made some very good saves. Corner kick is headed away right in front of the net. Bounces to a stop at the edge of the box. Okana looking to clear it, and Mia Okana is, at least for the moment, able to clear it. Right back of the defense of Marian, though, as they try to make their way forward from the back line. Out of bounds. Throw in for the Knights. 36 minutes to play. Spangler lofts across the net. Mullen has it knocked from her. Good challenge by Litzy Flores. Marian again is able to recover possession from the defense. Koger dribbles around the defender. Koger lays it off for Parmer, and Parmer knocks it towards the far corner. Stays in bounds and finally rolls out the side for a throw-in rather than a goal kick. That's a good break for Marian. Not a good hit from Parmer. It's hard to tell if she was trying to take a shot there or not. It ended up not really being near anything. Saints are doing a lot of dribbling on defense. And it leads to a foul called against Marian. So down by 1 goal. A little over a half hour remaining. Just under 35 minutes officially. Saints try to make their move, but it's quickly intercepted. Here's Parmer taking the shot, and she hits it off the side of the net. That was the best chance we've seen from the junior Olivia Parmer. She's been a little bit more aggressive, I think, in this second half so far. And that time she just took the clearance ball and immediately went on a one-woman show straight towards the net. Took a good-looking shot, but it was a little bit wide as it hit off the side of the net. Mia Okana on the other end for St. Francis. Passed back. Diaz pushes it in front of the net and out of bounds wide to the left. Goal kick for Marian. Feels like the trips to this side of the field have been just too brief for the Fighting Saints. Foul called as feet get tangled up of Mia Okana and Sammy King. King goes down and Okana is called for the foul. Free kick for the Knights. Ahead for Mullen. Sienna Mullen, good first touch. Works her way to the far side of the field. Rolls it off for Spangler. Spangler into the box. Mata comes sliding in and takes it off the foot of Allie Treadway. Mata got there first, but if she had been just a split second later, Treadway would have been able to tap it past her, and Mata's gamble would not have paid off. In the end, it's a good play by the St. Francis goalkeeper. She keeps the deficit at 1 with 32 and a half minutes to go. Coro Selma passes back to King, and King is able to get it out of harm's way for Marian. Kelly towards the sideline, kept in bounds by Spangler. Spangler splits 2 defenders, rolls it ahead, and now another chance for Parmer. Mata steps up. Parmer gets around her, takes the shot, and scores. 3-1 Marian on a great run from Olivia Parmer. Mata decided to challenge her, and Parmer just made one nice touch off to the right. She had all of the defenders beat already. So it was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And I don't know if you'd say that Mata maybe mistimed her challenge just a little bit, maybe came in a tad early at the edge of the box, or if Parmer just made a really nice play to get around her. It's a tough play for St. Francis' defense, any way you slice it. And now a 3-1 lead for Marian. Makes this an awfully difficult comeback attempt for a team that hasn't been able to generate too many offensive opportunities so far against Marian. 2 straight goals for the Knights after the Saints had tied it up at 1 back in the 26th minute. We're still early in the second half. Saints have a lot of work in front of them. Marian has not allowed more than 2 goals in any game this year. They only allowed more than 1 goal once this season. So in order to come back and get a result today, the Fighting Saints will have to do something against this Knights defense that nobody else has been able to do this year. This is one of the more accomplished teams that the Knights have played all season. Saints coming in undefeated as well. So you can't necessarily take past trends and project them forward. But it's a tough team to come back on, no matter who they're playing. They're a top 10 opponent for a reason. Ball taken away by Mullen from Flores, and a foul is called. It'll be a free kick for Marian. The Knights now lead 3-1 as we approach the half-hour mark remaining in the game. To the near sideline, it's Mullen. Sienna Mullen weaves to the right. In some trouble, a tough spot on the field. Knocked away, but she gets it back. Rolling it along the sideline, taken away and knocked out of bounds by Cara Planeta. Throw in for the Knights. In the near corner, deep into the attacking zone. Knocked loose by Flores. Planeta clears it, but right to Riley McKenna of Marian. Saints are able to take it back. Deep down the middle of the field. Intercepted by the Knights. To the outside, King finds Savannah Spangler, and Spangler tries to set up the offense for Marian. There's a ball into the box. Has Treadway, and Treadway has it poked away very quickly by Andrea Aguirre. Spangler will try again. And this time it's deflected straight out of bounds for what will be a corner kick. Another corner kick for Marian. They haven't been able to score off of any of these so far, but they've had a lot of chances. Kylie Jones sets the ball up on the far side. The kick is away. This time it's right in front of the net, but it skids past everybody in blue and straight out the sideline for a St. Francis throw-in. Didn't look like a bad ball from Jones there. Nobody was able to pick it up, though. Jasmine Valles is back in for the Fighting Saints. She has a long run to get herself in position to make the throw-in. Isabel Diaz, good ball work, finally knocked out of bounds by Marian. Tossed in towards Diaz again. And again, it's pushed back out of bounds. Trying to get it to Diaz a third straight time, but this time Valles didn't have enough on the throw. Into the box, a chance for another shot for Marian, knocked out of bounds. Good run from Caitlin Lavezzi. Lavezzi was looking for her third goal of the season. Got around a couple of defenders, couldn't stand up to the last line. And a corner kick here for Jones and Marian. To the back post, headed away. Still a chance for Marian on the back end of the play, but the Saints are able to knock it out of the initial attack. Second attack coming from Katie Koger. Koger all the way down to the corner. Tries to break free of the defender and can't. Koger takes a dribble towards the back line. There's her cross, deflected away by the Saints. A slide tackle to knock the ball out of bounds from Marian Coroselma. And St. Francis will make a substitution before a throw-in here. Sofia Velasquez is in. And Isabel Diaz is going out. Diaz is by far the Saints' leading goal scorer. So I'd imagine they'll want her back in the game eventually, but giving her a rest right now with just over 26 minutes to play. Out of bounds. Who touched it last? Looks like the Knights did. So the Saints are chipping their way down the field. Trying to anyway. Deflected out of bounds once again. Another throw in for the Fighting Saints. Lavezzi's pass is a little bit wide of its mark. Initially tracked down by Velasquez, but Velasquez can't keep it alive for the Fighting Saints. Marian is back in control of possession. That's where they've been most of the game. Just playing keep away for the moment. Down the sideline, here comes Savannah Spangler. Can't reach it. It's Pelayo instead, forcing it out of bounds along the sideline. Right in front of the Marian bench. The Knights will throw it back in. It's Koger. Koger breaks free of one defender, gets in tight, and has it knocked off her foot and out of bounds. That went out the end line, and Koger was the last one to touch it. So it's a goal kick for St. Francis. Kick is pushed away by Andrea Aguirre. On the far sideline, near midfield, kept in bounds off the foot of Spangler, and Spangler turns it upfield. Passed ahead for Lavezzi. And Lavezzi can't maintain possession. Saints go the other side of the field, but it's well out of bounds. It was deflected out by Marian. Fighting Saints possession, down by 2. We're about a minute shy of the halfway point here in the second. And that means it is officially starting to run out of time for the Saints if they want to erase a 2-goal deficit. Their lone goal today scored on a penalty kick from Kelly Flores in the 26th minute. Just out of the reach of the outstretched foot of Litzy Flores. Cleared by Marian. Pelayo steps up from the defense to try to restart the attack for the Saints, but it's halted once again. Sienna Mullen was able to get her foot on it and knock the ball away. Marian hasn't, I don't think anyway, changed their game plan too much. Nothing that I've noticed since they've taken a 2-goal lead. Into the corner, a chance for St. Francis as they try to make it a 1-goal game. Here's Okana. Okana, long-range shot, and she scores. Mia Okana from 30 yards out near the far sideline makes it a 1-goal game. A huge shot from Okana to get the Saints back in it. It's her second goal this season. 5 points. 3-2 is our score. Second time today that St. Francis has had an answer after a Marian goal. This one coming about 9 minutes after the Knights scored. They still got 1 goal to make up. 3-2. Marian on top. This equals the most goals scored against the Knights this year. As I said earlier, nobody has scored more than 2 against them. So the Saints are going to have to try to reverse history a little bit. Beautiful shot from Mia Okana. Just over the head of Lily Ames, who jumped up for it. Couldn't quite pull it in. Foul is called here on the Fighting Saints and Jasmine Valles. And now the Knights get a free kick from close range. right along the sideline. His kick is coming from just over 20 yards out. It is rolled ahead to Mullen, knocked right off of Mullen's foot and out of bounds by Valles. We've got a goal kick. Valles hit it off of Mullins before it went out. Good defensive play from her. Saints are hanging around in this game, down by just 1 goal for the second time today. I guess the third time, but it's the second time they've come back to make it a 1-goal game. Well, I guess on their last goal, they tied the score. I don't know what I'm trying to say. The point is it's been pretty close throughout, and the Saints have been resilient. Rolled out near the Marian bench. Throw in for the Knights. Aguirre's trying to let it roll, but it didn't. Good play by Allie Treadway to keep the ball in bounds. Ultimately didn't have any help down there, so couldn't do anything with it, but the Saints wanted a simple goal kick, didn't get it, thanks to the fight from Treadway. We're down to the final 20 minutes. Anybody's game still. Player goes down for St. Francis on the defensive side. It looks like Ishel Palayo. She'll get a visit from the training staff. 19:41 showing on the clock. 3-2, Marian has the lead. The Knights have been challenged a handful of times this year. Back-to-back games at Cumberland August 31st and at home against Northwestern Ohio on September 6th. They won both of those 2-1. A 1-0 victory at St. Ambrose back on August 23rd. So they've 3 times this year played games that were decided by only 1 goal in the end. So for as good as they've been, for as impressive as their statistics are, they can win the dirty ones too. 3 of their 7 wins have been by 1 goal, and 3 of their wins have been by 3 or more goals. So they've won some close ones. They've also won some blowouts. One of the toughest teams in the nation. Pause in the action here for an injured player. She's up and sitting off to our right and out on her feet. And Palayo is walking off the field under her own strength. So good to see. No noticeable limp, no help from either her trainer or her head coach as she makes her way to the sideline. She will presumably have to be removed from the game, at least for a little bit. We'll see if she's able to go again later. Palayo walks off. We're about ready to continue the action. See what Al Pilar has in mind here in terms of a replacement for Palayo, who's going back to the trainer's table right now. But before you make a replacement, you have to get all the originals back out there. Both sides went off to their benches during that long injury timeout. The Knights are back on the field. Now the Saints have to return to the same. It looks like the Saints have a full complement of players. So Palayo is out, but they'll continue on. Isabel Diaz is back in. It seemed likely that she was only going to get a short rest anyway, but with the injured player It's a good time to get her back in there. Leading goal scorer this year for the Fighting Saints. And they need a goal. Or two. Two would give them the lead. Andrea Aguirre steps in to take a free kick here. Just shy of midfield. Saints down by 1. Launched down the center of the pitch and knocked back towards the Fighting Saints. Kelly Flores passes to the sideline. Downfield, fight for the loose ball is won by Isabel Diaz. Diaz pushes it down into the corner. Nothing much on that cross. And easily out of bounds. Substitute coming in for Marian. Sophia Lewis, freshman, comes in. First time we've seen her today. I think Rachel Gellner just came on as well. Justin Sullivan's playing a lot of freshmen. It's a very deep team. There's quite a few impressive veterans out there as well, but a lot of freshmen for a team that has been as successful as they've been. Here's Taylor Wirt. Wirt down the sideline, looking for Gellner, and can't get it to her. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. Gellner won't take it. Instead, it's Aaron Kelly trotting all the way up from the defense. Right in front of the net this time. The Saints don't let it roll. They play it back to their goalkeeper, and Mata gets it away for the moment, but it's going to come right back to her here because a foul is called on St. Francis. And this one means a free kick from a pretty good area. 25 yards out, just to the left. Saints defense getting themselves position. Kylie Jones has been ready and waiting to take this kick. Now she steps away. Instead, it's Marian Coro Selma who puts it right on target. A whistle blows. We're going to do it again. That one did not count. See if they do the same thing. This time Coro Selma doesn't try to fool anybody. She sends it right towards the net. And it's saved by Giselle Mata. It was a tougher save than on the dress rehearsal just moments ago. But both of them were saves. This one actually counts as one. We're going to throw in for the Fighting Saints, but first a substitution. They bring Charlene Mendoza back into the game. Lob to Diaz. Diaz tried to control it, couldn't. And out of bounds. Tossed in along the sideline. Stolen by St. Francis. Here's Diaz. Isabel Diaz has it poked loose by Wirt. Wirt challenges for the ball, wins that, but kicks it away. Taken by the Saints. Diaz. Rolled around, and it's Aguirre clearing it to midfield. Wirt tries to get the ball through, but it is tracked down by the Saints first. Jasmine Baez stayed in front of the ball and guided it all the way into the hands of Giselle Mata. Mata's made some big plays in today's game. She has let those 3 goals in. First 3 goals allowed all season by Mata or anybody on the Fighting Saints. But she's also got 7 saves today, 2 off of her season high. Here's Sienna Mullen. Mullen takes a dribble to her right, passes in front of the net, deflected. Ball still loose, now stepping in, knocking it towards the near post. It is cleared by St. Francis. Pushed ahead. Saints looking for something quick on the counter, and Valles can't quite catch up with it. Tapped a little bit too far in front of her, but she was fouled slightly earlier on the play. So a free kick for the Fighting Saints from midfield. Flores to take the free kick here. Kelly Flores directs everyone in front of her, now sends the ball away. Headed up into the air by Marian. And the ball is won by Marian. Here's Koger. Koger's pass doesn't make it through. Good deflection by Flores. Kelly Flores downfield into the box. A run for St. Francis, but Ames is able to step up and get there first. Good looking opportunity for Isabel Diaz. The ball was just a little bit too far out in front of her. Couldn't get there before Ames did. Cara Planeta comes back in for the Fighting Saints. Let's see, Flores heads off to the sideline. Final 12 and a half minutes of play in this game. 3-2, Marian has the 1-goal lead. Saints are trying at least to come back and force Marian into their first non-win of the year, even if it's a tie. They take it. The Saints are 3-0-1. The Knights are 7-0. So a good battle today between 2 teams that came in undefeated. Here's Koger. Koger can't make her way around Flores. Passes it off to the right. And it's lost out of bounds as Sophia Lewis tried to make a play with the ball. Couldn't do it. Olivia Parmer, who scored the 3rd goal of the game for Marian, is back on the field now along with Sammy King. Clock stopped with Marian making substitutions. It's running again as the ball is put back in play. St. Francis will get a throw in. Near side, just shy of midfield. Tossed into Diaz. It hit her hand. It looked like she thought there was going to be a whistle for a handball. It wasn't blown. So now she keeps playing and she wants a handball called on Marian. Neither one of them got called. I guess it all evens out in the end. There's Koger. Koger down close to the corner. Rolls it in front and easily sent away by St. Francis. Sienna Mullen gets the throw here. No substitutions this time. Dropped in for Wirt to the back line and out of bounds. We've got a goal kick. Marian led this game 3-1. Mia Okana scored her 2nd goal of the season to tighten it up and make it 3-2. And the Saints are continuing to try to fight back, but we've got now just 10 minutes remaining in this contest. Thrown in by the Saints along the sideline. Okana tried to push it into the center. was sent right back to the sideline and forces the Saints to go all the way back as far on defense as they can go, looking to reset this possession. That kick goes out of bounds, though, a throw in for Marian. Into the box, a jumble of white shirts around Koger. She's able to get the pass off to Parmer anyway, but Parmer can't get a clean touch on it. It's cleared by Planeta. Bounced into the box again. Another chance for Parmer, and she's just wide to the right. Olivia Parmer scored her 6th goal of the season earlier today. She's had a couple of close calls, including that one. And she could easily have more than just the one goal. Across midfield. Long run to get to that ball for Rachel Gellner, but she lets it go out of bounds, and the throw-in belongs to the team in blue. You can only take up so much time, but every second counts. And the Knights are in no hurry on these balls out of bounds at this stage of the game. Another chance coming up for Parmer. Parmer's got just one defender to beat, takes the shot, sliding, stopped by Giselle Mata. That was pretty similar to the play that we saw Parmer score on a little bit ago. In that occasion, Parmer sidestepped the charging Mata and was able to take a clean shot on a wide open net. This time, rather than trying to sidestep her again, she just fired the shot, and Mata was in position to knock it away. Good save by Mata, maybe her best of the day. Koger's ball is deflected by Kelly Flores. Taken away by Marian. They're in possession. Mullen to the outside, trying to get it back. It's cleared by the Saints. Saints are running out of chances to make their offensive runs. They've been few and far between today. So you can't count on them getting a whole lot more chances over the final 7 minutes of this game. Let's see, Flores comes in for Charlene Mendoza for the Saints. Trying to add a little bit more firepower. Cleared by Marian across midfield. Garcia Favela pushes it ahead. Nobody there in white. Another opportunity for the Saints. The shot comes in from long range from Kelly Flores, but an easy pickup on one hop by Lily Ames. A little bit of desperation on that shot attempt. McKenna rolls it back towards Ames, and Ames knocks it away. Almost a dangerous play there for Riley McKenna and the Marian Knights. Throw in for Planeta. O'Connor knocks it back towards the box. One defender in the way, and that one defender wins the ball. Good defense. Rachel Gellner came up with that stop. Another opportunity here for the Fighting Saints. Kelly Flores, between a few defenders, has it knocked off her foot in the last instant by Riley McKenna. Saints will stay aggressive with just 5.5 minutes to play. It's Diaz. Isabel Diaz trying to work her way around Taylor Wirt. Finally, she does get by Wirt. Good ball down the right side of the field. Long run from Perez. Perez puts it in front of the net. Coming in for the shot. It's wide. Nia O'Connor had the chance to tie the score on a good ball from Citlali Perez. O'Connor came in from the left side of the net and just sailed it. She's the one who scored the second goal of the game for the Fighting Saints. This time, didn't get the best touch on it. And we're down under 5 minutes to play. Near side. Good challenge from Jasmine Valles to take it for St. Francis. Here's Planeta. Right on the sideline. Planeta hits a high one into the box on one hop. It is grabbed by Lily Ames. To the sideline, out of bounds. Throw in for St. Francis. They've held possession for much of the last 5 to 10 minutes. Something they haven't done a lot of during the game, but Marian has stepped back and played a little bit more defensive over the last few minutes, and St. Francis is trying to turn that into some offensive opportunities. They've had a few. One of their best scoring chances of the game was just a minute ago on the ball that sailed out of bounds off the foot of Okana. Planeta steps up for another throw-in. Down the sideline, trying to get it into Litzy Flores, but it's out of bounds. And one more sub here for Marian. Spangler is coming back in. Freshman Rachel Gellner takes a seat. Kelly Flores deflects that out of bounds. Koger immediately hounded by two defenders. Every time the ball goes out, it'll cost St. Francis a few extra seconds. Marian is not actively stalling, but they're taking their time. Here's Parmer, Olivia Parmer into the box. Parmer, with one defender in front of her, steps off to the right and loses it out of bounds. Good defense from St. Francis. Aguirre's ball bounces to midfield. Rolled off to the right. Coro Selma. Pushed down to Koger. Katie Koger. Good positioning around the defender. Rolls it in front of the net. A shot from Parmer is her second goal of the half. And that should put it away for Marian as they take a 4-2 lead with under 3 minutes to play. Set up by Koger, who scored the first goal of the game. Now she has her second assist of the season. And a goal for Parmer, her second today, her sixth this year. And it's her third multi-goal game this season. And I mentioned earlier this half that she had been quiet. Wasn't too involved in the first half action. In the second half, she's been everywhere. She has the 2 goals and really came within inches of a couple more. Okana down into the corner. She loses her footing. The ball is lost out of bounds by Marian. Throw in coming for the Saints. Deflected by Diaz out of bounds. The clock continues to run as Marian will get the throw. Mullen lofts it over a couple of fighting Saints. Parmer is pushed to the ground and a foul called on Kelly Flores. The clock goes under 2 minutes now remaining in the game. Marian has extended their lead to 4-2 against a St. Francis defense that hadn't allowed a goal all season coming into play today. It's been tough in this second half, though, with the Saints trailing, putting everybody up a little bit. There have been a handful of opportunities for Marian where the defense just hasn't been in position. Here's Parmer down into the corner. Parmer protecting the ball. Planeta steps in for the Saints, tries to knock it off of Parmer out of bounds, and it ends up going out the sideline, I believe. We're going to get a throw in here rather than a corner kick. Or Or are we going to get a corner kick? That's going to be a throw. Very nearly went out the back line. Saints are able to clear it. Push downfield. Back to midfield. It's Jones with under a minute to play. Marian just trying for the last few seconds to protect this 2-goal lead. Sienna Mullen steps forward. Mullen rolls it off to Koger. Right back to Mullen. Down to the corner. Flores trying to challenge her from behind. Mullen loses her footing, and a foul is called on the Fighting Saints. Clock continues to run under 30 seconds, so this one last free kick should end the game, with Marian on top 4-2. See if the defense steps in on Koger. Off to Mullen. A few more dribbles to the corner. Again, Mullen just trying to protect the ball. As the Saints look to knock it off her foot. It rolls out of bounds, but the clock's going to expire before we continue anything. So it is a final 4-2. Marian defeats St. Francis. Good game today. The Fighting Saints, true to their name, showed a lot of fight today against a really good Knights team. Came in ranked number 6 in the country, 7-0 record. They had won 3 games by 1 goal. They had won 3 games by 3 or more. This one's going to fit right in the middle. A 2-goal victory thanks to the very late goal in the 87th minute, or the 88th minute actually, from Olivia Palmer, which put it away, but it was a tight game prior to that. 4-2 is the final score. The game was controlled by Marian for the most part, but the stats weren't utterly dominant. 20 shots to 11. Shots on goal were 12-4 in favor of the Knights. Despite allowing her first 4 goals of the season, Giselle Mata had a good game in net with 8 saves. She made some really tough ones as well. Fouls today, 15 called against St. Francis, 9 against Maryland, as the Saints got pretty aggressive trying to overcome the deficit in the second half. Our goals were scored 3 in the first half, 3 in the second half. The scoring started in the 19th minute. It was Katie Koger making it 1-0. And then Kelly Flores, 7 minutes after that, scored on a penalty kick. For Flores, it was the first goal of the year. It tied it at 1. But before halftime, Sienna Mullen was able to score her 3rd goal of the season for Marian to make it 2-1. That was the score at halftime. And then Marian seemed like maybe they had put the game away in the 59th minute with a goal from Olivia Palmer, her 1st of the game and her 6th of the season. It made it 3-1 in favor of the Knights, but Mia Okana came back with a very pretty goal in the 68th minute, which made it a 1-goal game. The Saints had a few chances after that to tie it up, some close calls. They weren't quite able to do it. And then finally in the 88th minute, Olivia Palmer put the game away for Marian. Her 2nd goal of the afternoon, her 7th of the season, made it 4-2. And that stood as our final. Again, 4-2, Marian defeats St. Francis. The Knights improved to 8-0 on the season. The Saints take their first loss of the year as they fall to 3-1-1 in non-conference play. Coming up later this week, they get rolling in the conference season on Wednesday. They take on Trinity Christian in a CCAC matchup, and then back home next week as conference season heats up for the Fighting Saints. Today they fall in a non-conference game, though, against a top 10 opponent. 4-2, the final score. That's going to do it for this broadcast. It is not the end of the day for St. Francis soccer. The men's team is coming up next about a half hour from now. They'll take on Cornerstone in what should be a good matchup as well. One final time, 4-2 is the score in this one. The Saints go down to the Knights of Marian. Until next time, Terry Bonadonna signing off for now. We got the men's game coming up shortly, so hopefully you join us for that. If not, I'll talk to you next time.